Bro, this is episode 24.
All right. Well, live. Yeah, I
On
think it's
episode
episode.
24, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was episode 24. Yeah.
Are
Just
we
gonna
are we live
quickly.
on yeah, we're live on Roundtable, right?
Yeah. I think we're
Okay,
live. Just double check.
yeah, we Gucci, bro. From at least from me.
Yes, Cole Palmer did it. Lovely.
Perfect. Boys, I'm repping my little Maple Leaf sweater, man. I'm vibing, bro. The whole city is bouncing after yesterday, man. Holy.
What happened yesterday?
I was like, bro, the Leafs, like Canada's national sport is hockey, right? The
Yeah, no.
Leafs is like Canada's team in a way, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's just there's so much hype around it, bro. We finally got into the playoffs and won some games. It's crazy. We usually always like flop in the playoffs. So the whole city was like going crazy. I was at the game yesterday, so I'm still living off the high of yesterday. Danny, bro, I can't believe we're starting off the pod like this, bro. This is crazy.
What? Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, fam. Um, uh, we live.
Yeah, we're live,
Perfect, bro.
boys. Let's cook. Let's cook.
Let's cook, man. All right, see you
Let's
guys,
cook
bro.
like Lavia cooked Liverpool on Sunday.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FPL Roundtable podcast. I'm your host, Kanji FPL, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, FPL Kayman and FPL Stark. This is episode 24, and we're going to be reviewing and previewing game week 36. But before we move on to game week 36, let's just have a little discussion about who had a better season so far. We've got Arsenal versus Manchester United. Who do you think's actually potentially going to have a better season? What do you guys think?
Between who? United and Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if Tottenham or United win Europa and they get Champions League football, they've achieved the same as Arsenal, right? Champions League football. But what they've also then on top of that achieved is some silverware. So in my opinion, obviously in terms of accolades, United and Tottenham have achieved more. Even Chelsea, if we win conference and get Champions League football. But all I'd say is over this is a 38 game week season and we're playing FPL. Kayman's not even owned any United assets. He doesn't want. I'm sure Kayman wants to own some United assets. You know what I'm saying? So like realistically, you want your team to be playing well in the Prem because if your team's doing well, most likely your assets are doing well as well. So you can't dismiss the Prem.
Facts,
There's
bro.
some background
What
noise
do you
by the
think,
way on
Kayman?
Stark. Stark, there's some background noise. I don't know if you can fix that or if you can try your best, but it's okay. First and foremost, how you doing, Kanji? How's everyone? Good, both of you.
Just chilling, boys. Just chilling, fam.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Um, I'm good, thank you. But in regards to the United thing, I think we've had absolute horror show of the season. If I'm being frankly honest. But it's one of those things like it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. Like no matter how much you suffer. For example, like think of it like this: is a boxing fight, right? And you're getting beat down. You're getting walked down for like say I don't know 12 rounds, right? I don't know if you guys watched the Wilder versus Tyson fight, Tyson Fury. Remember when Wilder knocked down Tyson 2 or 3 times and he still got up and he still fought. So I think I look at United season as like this. We got knocked down quite a few times. I mean, we suffered under Ten Hag. Even after when Amorim came in, we still suffered. Tottenham battered us at home and away. So we've had some embarrassing losses like the likes of Wolves and Bournemouth. So we got knocked down a lot, but we came back up fighting. Rocky Balboa style, Tyson Fury style, and right now we're about to drop the final blow. And literally every single one of our haters, whether it be Chelsea, whether it be Arsenal, whether it be Spurs, doesn't matter, Liverpool, they're all scratching their head like, how the hell did this happen? How did this bomb sitting 15 get winning Europa? How? How did this bomb sitting 15 getting Champions League? How did this bomb get another trophy for another year? Arsenal fans are scratching their head. They're digging their own grave. They're literally digging their own grave, saying, how is this happening again? look, as a United fan, of course we want to be competitive. Our standard is obviously winning the league and Champions League. It's not to win FA Cups, Carabao Cups, Europa. Don't get it twisted. But however, considering the circumstances that we're in, considering the fact that we're in a rebuild, considering the fact that our GOAT Sir Alex Ferguson has retired and is no longer part of this team, from managing the team standpoint, I'm still privileged and I should be grateful for what I'm getting. To win 3 trophies in 3 years in a row, regardless of the circumstances, which obviously context matters, we suffered, but we're still coming out with some success. We're still putting silverware in our freaking cabinet, and ninety
Yeah,
percent of
which
the
is
club and
crazy.
ninety
That's
percent of
it's
the clubs
mad.
can't say the same. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
it's a obviously we're happy at the same time. We're not fully satisfied, but we got to be grateful. Do you know what I mean? We got to be grateful for the fact that we're in the position that we're in. We're up 3-0 versus Athletic Bilbao, which many people saw as a difficult matchup. Even myself, I thought it was a good difficult matchup. They even surprised me. I didn't see it 3-0. Honestly, I didn't. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm quite privileged and humbled, to be honest, we're in the position we're in. To get another trophy in Champions League, I would consider this season to be a somewhat a success, right? Considering the circumstances. However, that's not the level I want to be in. I want to be competing for the league and Champion League because that's the ultimate heights and the standard for United. And it's one of
Yeah,
those
but
things
you
that
know what?
helps
Let's
to,
look at it.
yeah, go on, yeah, go on. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, let's look at it from an Arsenal perspective. Like,
Mhm.
we'll talk about Arsenal FC, aka Set Piece FC, aka Netflix FC. I mean, with these guys, it's always about next year. I mean, do you feel like a little bit sad about Arsenal, or do you feel like I don't know? For me personally, I'm Arteta out, bro. Like I've seen Arsenal progress, but I think Arteta's taken them as far as he can take them. I don't really know. Like it seems like he doesn't have the squad management skills to actually get them to win a trophy. Like they have everything. They have the squad. They're all young. They have a good defense, good midfield. I know injuries have been a problem this year. You know, Rice, Odegaard, and Saka didn't really play many games together. But in general, it's like they have the best squad, or at least one of the top three squads, and they just haven't won a trophy like for the last like 5 years. Arteta's been there for 5 years and he's won like one cup, spent like 500 million pounds. It's crazy, bro. Like Arsenal, I don't know how to feel. Like, how do you guys feel about Arsenal FC?
Go on, Stock.
Objectively, I think they are. Arteta's taken them a long way, and I think there's a few missing pieces in their team. And I think it's unfair to say he's not the guy because he's not been given all the tools to even compete with some great teams. Man City are historically one of the best teams the Premier League will ever see. Statistically, uh, what's the word? Breaking records, 6 in 7 seasons. Klopp didn't win the title, I think, on 97 points. And I think Liverpool, Liverpool have already won the league. And how many points are they on right now, currently?
Like 80 something, or maybe 82 or something like that.
Let me quickly check. So Liverpool have already won the league. They're on 82 points currently. Klopp had 97 points and didn't win the league. Like it's all about timing. City have been terrible. Chelsea United have fallen off. They're trying to find their feet as a club and progress. City, yeah, Newcastle, they're not really that team to compete. So Liverpool have taken advantage of that because Slot did inherit a team that was pushing City to the brink of the last game in every season when he was there. So it's no
Yeah, but like
surprise.
every time, Sark, every time there's been like a window, right? Like, every squad that's being built, there's a window for them to succeed. Like this is Arsenal's window. Like all of them are 25-ish, approaching their prime. Like the next 5 years should be their years to really win the league. But each year that
Yeah, but
passes and Arteta doesn't get them over the line, their window just gets smaller and smaller, you know?
Kanji, yeah, but you're being too harsh. They don't have who's their striker?
I mean, you're not one to talk. I mean, you have like another guy that can't finish his dinner either, right?
Well, this is not about Chelsea, and I wouldn't dispute that. The point I'm making is Arteta is playing with Kai Havertz up top, who's not a striker, and he's now playing Marino there in Kai Havertz's absence. If he has an Isak or even an Ivan Toney or a Jokeris, Arsenal would be a much better team. That's just a fact, right?
But
As for rival fans, we're gonna drink their tears, but if we're being objective, they Arteta's overachieved since he stepped into that club. They haven't won the league since they've done Invincibles, and they've never won the Champions League. They're not the club that's ever done that. They don't push the finals every season. They don't push the winners second for 20 years running. They were finishing top four, selling their best player every year before Arteta came in. He's made a very good squad. He's bought some good players. He needs to be backed financially, get a striker, and let's see what he can do. If he can't do it, then replace him and find someone better. That would be my
So you
standpoint on it.
so would you say that that next season is gonna be like his last dance, basically, for him to try to
Yeah,
actually get like a trophy? Assuming they end up going to buy like a left winger or a striker that's like a top tier player.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah, because I feel the same way, bro. Because I was messaging and making fun of my Arsenal friends, being like, "Yo, like you guys still can't win anything." Like it's and people are staying loyal to Arteta because of the connection he's built, like between him, like the club and the fans. Like Arsenal fans are happy, but they're a little bit disappointed, I'd say. I just even myself, I know Kayman's gonna come here and roast me. I set up Arsenal. I told you guys in preseason I expect Arsenal to win the Premier League this season. I thought they were gonna go undefeated this year, so they've even let me down. So. But I see the potential. Let's see what happens. But in general, if you had to pick between being in Arsenal's position, having a good team, finishing second in the league with no trophies, or would you rather be potentially 15th and 16th in the league and win a trophy? I mean, the thing is, it's like for the last 5 years, Arsenal have sort of been progressing, and this year it feels like a regression. I really feel like they've taken a step back this year, and so I'd rather be in Man United's position, specifically
you're
this
being
season.
very harsh, Kanji. You're being very harsh because I seem to
I
remember
am. I
when
mean,
I seem to remember when Liverpool lost Van Dijk and they were shambolic. Let's actually respect Arsenal here for a second. They lost Saka during crunch time for the whole of 2025 until recently, and the run in December. They've also lost Gabriel recently in their semi-final legs. Bro, like Saka's their best player. How would Liverpool have won the league this season without Salah?
nah,
All
no
right, so
chance.
so
No
let's us
chance.
let's put it like this, or Stark. When I think when Kanji's saying I'd rather be in like in United's position, I don't think he means that literally, meaning like as in like I think what he's trying to say is basically winning trophies. Like at least United are winning something and they have something to celebrate. Because at the end of the day, like even though we suffer throughout the year, we end up celebrating something. Like the last 3 years, I'm not gonna lie to you, as a United fan, yes, it's been very difficult, but it's been bittersweet because at the end we celebrated something. Yes, we're making mistakes and we're probably not learning from it. We're making mistakes, and the fact that we're still winning, which is kind of surprising to all of us. Well, to United fans, it's not because we expect we to win, but shit, I think the my light just went out. I don't know what happened. Um, hey, Arteta just took the Arteta turned off the light bulb. He didn't want me to talk shit about Arsenal.
Yo, don't get Arteta started with this light bulb again, bro.
Hey, yo, my Arsenal boys actually turned my electricity off, man. This light bulb FC fans, they're on to me. They're on to me, guys.
So I just
Hey,
want
you
to
man,
say
quick,
this
let me
though.
fix the lighting.
I just want to say
Alright,
this
then.
while K-Man's fixing the light. Yeah, with regards to Arsenal and United, in terms of winning trophies, you'd always rather win a trophy, right? But in terms of a club's progression, Arsenal are in a much superior place than United. And if
Oh yeah,
anyone was going to
definitely.
win the league in the next 3 seasons, based on where they are as a club and the squad they've both got and the positions they're in, it would be Arsenal. Arsenal
But it's
don't
it's
aren't
you're sort of like you're a victim of your expectations. I mean, think about it. Like Rodri got injured. It's like Klopp left. I mean, expectations were Arsenal to like literally go out there potentially win the league, and now they're not even competing for. They're like 15 points away in the league. Like it's not even close. Like, it's just disappointing for Arsenal, really.
they lost Saka, bro. They lost Saka during the
Cayman,
most.
you're not on. You're not on mute. Cayman, you're not on mute. You're not on mute. Oh. Cayman
Yo, this
doesn't
is
realize he's not on mute.
this is a
Sorry,
Yeah,
am I
see
not
you
on
weren't
mute?
on mute. All good.
Sorry, my bad. Am I
you
not on
see
mute? Sorry, I'm
you,
on mute, I think.
you
On the
see
stream, I'm on mute, yeah. I'm on mute
No,
on the
no,
I'm
stream, don't
telling
worry. You
you.
guys cook, you guys cook.
I'm
all
telling
right.
you, Kanji, Saka, if you like Saka being injured is such a huge loss. Just look at how Man City have performed without Rodri. We were targeting their defense. Who would have thought that we
Mm,
were targeting Man City defense for certain
yeah, it's
assets?
crazy.
Like put some context to the situation. They don't have a striker. They definitely need to refine their squad a bit and improve the squad in order to
But yo, at
compete.
least bro, I listen, I know Arsenal squad is much better than Man United's. Arsenal's like the way they are as a team, the position that they're in, I'd rather be in Arsenal's position the past few seasons. I would have rather been an Arsenal fan. But if you think about it, like, bro, Man United have something to celebrate. I normally would never like say this, but like, yo,
Wait,
Man
wait, wait,
United
hold on. Can I just correct you
actually,
there? Can I just correct you there? You said you would have rather been an Arsenal fan for the last few years, yeah?
yeah, because
All right,
you're
okay,
winning
cool.
games on a
Hold on, hold on,
consistent
hold on, hold
basis
on.
every week,
Okay,
like
so let's go through the last few years, right? When did Arteta come to Arsenal?
He's been there for like 5 years.
Oh, 7 years. 7 years.
Let's say 20.
It's
Let's
been
say
7 years.
he's been okay. Oh wow,
No, it's been
damn.
7 years, right? His first 2 seasons, fair enough. Like he's gone someone else's squad, Emery's squad. He's trying to deal with it, but with his squad, he won an FA Cup. Some success, so the managers backed him. He won something straight away. Bang! They invested into him. They invested on almost 800 million onto him. And keep in mind, Arsenal is not the type of club like they're not like your Arabs where they basically use all money to pump and then buy players. Like they don't have that much money. Like they're relatively stingy considering like their club status in terms of they have a big market and they have a
Yeah.
lot of fans, right?
Mhm.
They still don't invest that much money, but they backed Arteta. They bought in players. They bought in Rice. They bought in these big names, right? Saliba even. What have they achieved since they have obviously acquired these players? Obviously, some of them are homegrown, like Saka, obviously, great player. What have they achieved since like for the last 5 to 6 years? Obviously, he won the FA Cup. Other than that, like they haven't had anything to really celebrate. Like you can say second place, right? They will claim that we've been in a title charge. I'm sitting right here, right? For the last 3 to 4 years, whenever there was a conversation about Arsenal FC winning a title, and obviously I'm a hater and I'm this agenda merchant, whatever, right? I have comfortably, and I don't even bet, I've won with my friends. I said, listen, I will buy you food, any type of food you want, if you win a title. And I've been doing that for the last 3 years. And every single year I'm eating
Mhm.
free food. Alhamdulillah, I'm eating free food. I'm so confident, right, that Arsenal not winning the title is insane. The reason being is the fact that they have number one, they had a young squad, right? So the first couple of years it wasn't happening. Second of all, they had one of the best chances to win was I think last year when they went on an insane run and they end up bottling versus Brighton and Everton. And then this year, where they're supposed to be favorite, like they were favorites. Let's be honest, they were favorites because City
Mhm.
or what they lost. What's his name? Rodri. Like they lost the KDB. They lost even Haaland at some point. And then Liverpool, they lost Klopp. So they're supposed to be in the running and they're supposed to be next up. Do you know what I mean? Because it was originally Klopp versus Pep. And then it was supposed to be Arteta versus Pep. And then what happened? It was Onslaught versus Pep. It's not even Onslaught. It's Onslaught versus himself this year. Literally Onslaught versus himself. So the fact that Arteta didn't even put up a fight for this league and the league was done in January, it's an embarrassment and it's a regression. It's not a progression. Kanji is absolutely correct in that they've regressed this year from league standpoint, from league title standpoint. Fair enough, they've progressed in Champion League, which fair enough, Kudus they went to Champion League semi-final, which is a progression. However, if you're talking about the league, I think it's a regression. Do you know what I mean?
If you look
Yeah.
at the reasons as to why they've regressed, they lost Saka on the 21st of December and they didn't get him back till Tuesday, the 1st of April. Do you know how many Premier League games are played in between that time? They've also lost Kai Havertz, who to Arteta's system was playing the nine, even though he's not a top nine in world football, but he was doing the job and he helped them compete last season. They've had a lot of key injury, like they've lost their start. How would Liverpool perform without Salah? How would
Yeah.
United have
No.
performed this season without Bruno Fernandes? Like
All
you've
right.
got to apply the context and be objective. It's
Correct,
easy
correct.
drinking
Before
rival
Saka
fans'
got injured,
tears.
what was the points difference between Liverpool and Arsenal, by the way?
It
Star?
wasn't that much. It
It
wasn't
was
that
nine
much.
points difference minimum. I remember it very well. The league was almost wrapped up when before Saka got injured. Liverpool leading comfortably. They had an insane start to the season, and Arsenal had a rocky start to the season. And they'll obviously go back to the red cards, refs, and X, Y, and Z. Second of all, in regards
Mhm.
to your question about they don't have a striker, Arteta doubled down on Havertz. He had a chance to sign a striker in the offseason. He had a chance to sign a striker in the January window. He doubled down with Havertz. You can't make an excuse for a manager who chooses not to sign a striker because he chooses and he believes in a player that's going to play false nine. He's not a striker. He's going to get in the league. So you can't make that as an excuse. That's what they chose. That's what the manager chose. That's what the club chose. Because that's not an excuse. And Pep won the league 3 times without a striker. So that cannot be an excuse. Sorry, that just cannot be an excuse. Liverpool, who's Liverpool striker? They got Darwin Núñez up front. Come on, bro.
Yeah, like the thing is like it's just expectations, bro. Like I look at the squad and Arsenal disappointed me. I expected more. I looked at Man United, I had no expectations of them. I didn't even put them in my top four. Like I didn't think they were gonna be that good. And they're potentially gonna win the Europa League and get Champions League football. I didn't have that in my bingo card. They impressed me. I can't deny. The new coaches come in and they're playing better football, man. And Ahmad's come out of nowhere. It's like Garnacho, maybe he has some sort of hope. I mean, Bruno's carried them single-handedly pretty much. Like I just it's the fact they have something to celebrate, bro. Like that is
Yeah,
so
I think
underrated.
that's
So many
what will
clubs don't
edge
get this, bro.
edge us over. I agree with Kanji. I think that's what edges for me as a United fan. I think the fact that if we do win, I think if again, it's not guaranteed that we're gonna win. If we do win, end up winning the Europa, I think it's a really it's I think it's obvious like who had a better season. Like even though you'll say okay, they were in a higher position in the league table. Okay, in a league sense, okay, they had more success. But in terms of putting something and something to celebrate, and the objective of the game is to win something for your club every season in every campaign. And with the most people, their big goal is to win Champions League or Premier League. If you don't get that, get something domestically. Something to celebrate, which they cannot claim for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but
And
I just
Arsenal
I
fans
just
have
think
been. Mhm,
the roles are reversed, bro. Like
yeah.
United are acting like Arsenal, and Arsenal are actually performing how Manchester United should perform in the league. Like you man are actually celebrating Europa Leagues and FA Cups as Manchester United. That's like Tottenham. This is not good for United.
No, no.
Okay, you
Listen,
might
hold
have
on.
more silverware than Arsenal, but at the end of the day, Arsenal are in a much better position as a club than you are.
Yeah, they've been in a position for the last 6, 7 years, Stark, and what have they done being in that much better position? I admit, I agree with you, and we shouldn't be celebrating like we shouldn't be overly celebrating things like FA Cup and Carabao Cup. That's not our standard. I agree with you,
But
but
what have Chelsea and
mhm,
United done? I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm wearing the top right now. What have we
yeah,
done to
we haven't done
Man City
shit.
have
We haven't done
dominated
shit.
the
We're
league?
playing shocking. We're playing
Exactly. So
shocking.
how can we chat like we have no authority to chat? We don't.
But I can make an argument that we're having a better like I can make an argument that from rival standpoint, from objective rival standpoint, I can make an argument we've had a better campaign overall, not for the league specifically. I'm saying everything in taking into account, all
Just
the
got more
competition taken
success.
into account. Do you know what I
You've
mean?
just got more success.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got
what it is.
more
There we go. Yeah,
success.
exactly. But would I want to be Arsenal and not like? Would I want to basically trade my place with Arsenal to compete for the league for the last 2 years and come second 3, 4 times? I wouldn't want to be there. I'd rather be in the position I'm in. But at least I know I'm in a rebuild, but I'm still winning and I have got something to celebrate. I wouldn't trade places personally. I wouldn't. I wouldn't trade places.
I would trade places with Arsenal if
I
I'm
wouldn't
playing
trade
United
places.
and
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't.
I think Arsenal's future is better. Their squad is better. They've been more consistent. They're just one or two signings away from being one of the best teams in the world.
No, fair enough. That's your opinion. You're entitled to that. I just think I would not trade my places. I would take 3 trophies over nothing personally.
Damn,
But yeah,
that's crazy. I think Man United had a better season, but I would rather be
that's what people
in
said. Yeah,
Arsenal's
last
position.
season as well. They would rather be in Arsenal's position because they're close to winning the league, and this is what they're gonna say again this season. I think people are people just love to. I think people are more in love with table positions rather than actual winning trophies. So yeah,
Yeah. Let's ask one question about Arsenal before we move on.
yeah.
Do you think I'm being harsh on Arteta, or do you think I should put a little bit of blame on the board for not
In
bringing
regards to what?
Arteta like a
Sorry.
striker? Like because I blame Arteta for not getting Arsenal over the line. I mean, he hasn't really won them a Prem. He hasn't won them the Champions League. They've had the squad to do so, but they just haven't delivered that major trophy. I wonder if
Well,
I'm blaming Arteta too much, or if I should put some of the blame on the
but
board
he
not
signed
getting him.
Sterling when he needed a striker. So that's you tell me why he's getting Sterling
Did
when he needed a
did he
striker.
really like the thing is though, clubs nowadays are run with sporting directors who do the transfers and obviously they have the conversations, but it's not Arteta's money who buys the players. The board have to back him. They didn't sign anyone in January. Do you really think Arteta said in press conferences, like, yeah, we need players and they didn't sign anyone? For me, sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
when it comes to drinking rival tears, trust me, you'll see a different me, yeah. I'll be shameless. But when it comes to being objective, I can't help myself. Arsenal do not have the squad to win a Premier League, in my opinion. They don't have a striker. They're playing Miles Skelly and Nwaneri in Saka's absence in defense. They're like 18 years old. Nwaneri's not even allowed to get changed in their changing rooms. He's too young.
That's crazy, bro.
That's
Oh man.
cool.
But yeah,
That's
so
cool.
you think I'm being harsh on Arteta then, sorry.
I think you're being harsh on them because I just don't think you understand what they are as a club. Arsenal have not won the Premier League in over 20 years and they've never won a Champions League. To sack a manager for not delivering one of those trophies when it's not in their history to do so on a consistent basis is mind blowing to me. He's overachieving with that team when he came in. He's built them up to
Damn.
even be able to compete to get to a semi final. Beforehand, they were shocking.
But you know what?
Shocking.
I think Stark. I think fair enough. They were shocking, but I think one thing you have to be because if you just continue to give Arteta a pass for getting second places and just being nearly good, right? I think there has to be a conversation about, is he the man to get you over the line? Sometimes, for example,
Yes.
certain coaches are good to get you to that stage. Like they brought you up, like they got you to that stage, but they just can't get over the hump. And then that's when you make a change. But that change can be very dangerous and risky because you might end up all crashing down. But then the argument will be is that how long are you going to be able to maintain that second place? And if you don't capitalize on those guys' prime, the likes of Saka, the likes of Odegaard or Saliba or Gabriel, they're gonna walk one at a time, slowly but surely, because they won't be happy
Yeah,
getting
like
second
every
place every year.
every
So
every
you have
squad.
to think of, sorry, Kanji, you have to think of more from like from you gotta look at him more like more wider view rather than just Arteta or what he's done. No, objectively speaking, Arteta has done a phenomenal job with where Arsenal were to where they are currently. However, the expectation that Arsenal fans put onto Arteta, as well as their club and the fans, etc., they're expecting these trophies like Champions League and Premier League. I do not believe that Arteta is the man to get over the line. I do not believe that. Yes, he's done an
Exactly.
exceptional
Yeah.
job. Like, fair enough. Like, he played exceptional job. However, I don't think he has what it takes to go to the next stage.
I think if you
Yeah,
give him
I guess we'll have
Jokeries,
to.
you give him a Jokeries, you give him an Isak in that front line, and I'd say automatically they're like twice as good as a team. That's
Then it
just
will become.
facts.
Yeah.
Then there'll be another issue stuck. Then they'll get another injury. Then they'll be like, okay, we lost this guy. It's like you can't make excuses for him continuously. Like you have to work with what you
I'm not
got, man.
making excuses for him. I couldn't give two fucks if they don't win titles. I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm just having
I'm
an
not saying
objective conversation.
you're objectively speaking, speaking, you are making excuses by saying Saka got
I'm
injured,
just
this player
stating
got
the
injured, that
facts.
player got
They're
injured.
playing Kai Havertz up top. I'm a Chelsea fan. I watched him for years. That guy is shit. The fact that they've got him up front and they're even pushing Man City to the last game
But
week
then
is
who wanted him
mind-blowing.
though? Arteta wanted him, not the
Kai
club.
Havertz
Arteta
is
wanted him.
terrible. He's
But Arteta
terrible.
wanted him. That's the manager's fault. He wanted him.
He's actually
He wanted to
terrible.
play him as a striker. That's what I'm saying. So it's like
Kai Havertz
Arteta had
is
plenty of chance to sign
shit.
strikers in the offseason. He didn't sign a striker.
My word, Kai Havertz is bad, bro. They've got him up front. My goodness, I can't believe they've got Kai Havertz and Marino playing striker. Meanwhile, Man City have got Haaland, and Newcastle have got Isak. Barcelona have got Lewandowski. Bro, Havertz compared to Erling Haaland.
I
It's
think we've
not
spent
even
a long
close.
time on this, by the way. We gotta move on.
And
Like,
no,
oh my
it
god,
was honestly, it's just a really fair point, and we
my
were just
god, we
discussing
spent
like
like
Arsenal.
almost
Like
40 minutes on this, bro.
no, it was nice. We were going through the fact
Uh,
Arsenal, they've
bro,
already passed their rebuild
we,
stage,
we
so
gotta
it's
get back to
nice to
FPL,
see.
man.
Yeah, for
We got
sure.
back to
Yeah.
FPL. All right,
100%. Let's move on to the next slide, bro. Okay, man. So
all right.
what do
So
we have
then,
next? Why don't we sort of just quickly review how we did last week? I think that's probably a good way to do it. And you know what? I gotta give a major shout out to Cole Palmer, man. A lot of people have sold him. I can't believe his EO, bro. Stark, we're feasting at 5% EO. Oh my goodness, bro. We'll get onto it when we get onto the players who are on the beach and who aren't and who's motivated. But happy that I've kept him in the team. I just got destroyed by captaincy once again. I'm in the bottom 3% of captaincy over the season. Next year, I'm just captaining Salah or Holland every week, man. Forget this shit. It's like 2 years in a row where I'm actually just horrible for captaincy. Like I'm tired of fighting these battles, so I'm just gonna captain the premium every week next year. But yeah, so that was the week for me. Overall, it's a green arrow. I think it was 50K from 450K to 400K. So positive. Um, feeling okay. I'm already on the beach in terms of FPL personally. But how about you guys?
Stark, your team, you had 55 points on a -4, and you got a bum called O'Brien on your team. Go on.
Yeah, Green Arrow. It's a small Green Arrow. Isak captaincy came in pluggy. Bro, that was actually like a roller coaster watching that game. He could have had 3 penalties, and it kept getting rescinded, overturned by VAR, and I was heartbroken. I thought, yeah, I've just accepted the blank, but then he got one finally. So yeah, man, not
Talk
bad,
about
not
Palmer,
bad
man.
at
Talk
all.
about your star boy finally scoring a goal after 6 months or something.
Alright, this is a key thing about Palmer. I know there's a lot of talk about getting him back on the timeline, and I just wanted to say, Chelsea with Lavia, he's the difference maker because Caicedo plays right back. Lavia and Enzo are in midfield, so Caicedo inverts, and this pushes Enzo up next to Palmer. And the reason why it completely brings the best out of Palmer is because Palmer's not dropping deep to get the ball. He's not dropping deep to dictate the play. Now he's staying in the pockets, the space. Lavia's breaking the lines, and Palmer is able to operate in the space where he's most dangerous. So it just brings the best out of him as an asset, and also it's much harder to isolate Palmer when Enzo Fernandez is next to him as a 10 because
Oh
it's like a
man,
dual 10 system. So
bro,
anyone who's
Enzo
looking
has
at bringing in
been.
Palmer, uh, I can
Yeah,
tell you that we've got a lot to play for, and he looked like he was back to his best. But it comes from a systematic standpoint for me,
yo,
just
I
better
can't
as a
believe
team
Enzo
player.
has like I think he has like 20 GA over the campaign. I couldn't believe it. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, he can do more numbers as well. He's missed a lot. He's assisted a lot of chances that haven't been converted. Like he's just really good. Enzo is similar to Palmer, amazing in dangerous spaces where he can be creative and he can shoot on the edge of the box. So
Yeah, yo,
overall, the
talk to me
system.
about talk to me about O'Brien. What was the logic there?
I wanted to cheer on my boy Skyline. I wanted him for 37. Where the Everton play Southampton. I've got a pretty poor defense then, so I wanted to bring him in. Transfers are low, so I'm taking hits to try and chase rank. And I just thought if I'm gonna bring him in, I might as well bring him in now for Ipswich as well. It didn't work out. Is
Got you,
what it
bro.
is, bro. Like my rank's shit. I'm not really fussed. It's like nothing to lose.
Listen,
The team looks good though.
yeah, the team looks strong. I just didn't get the O'Brien pick at all, mate. I think, yeah, I was just a brick move. Let's call it what it is. Um, moving on to my team. Game week 35, I got 55 points. Raya is a bum. Arsenal are dog shit. Arteta is a bum. So look, Raya, man, it's just been such a disappointment. Like, bro, I've had this guy for the whole season almost. Just never again. And then Nico Williams with an assist, the absolute goal. 2.4% on differential, as you know what. He was actually on 2 bonus points, I think, before he got a yellow card. So I would have been on a nice, I think, 8 points if he wasn't for. Would it be 8 points? 7 points, sorry. If he wasn't for 7 or 8 points, if he wasn't for the yellow card. So I lost 2 or 3 points there. Trippier disappointing. Guardiola is 91% owned. Not too fast. But Bowen, however, amazing. And obviously my captaincy paid off. Quite an average week, but still a small
Bro, you
green arrow.
still
We'll
have
take that.
you
Yeah.
still have Jacob Murphy in the team. What the hell?
I still had
What's he doing
Murphy,
there?
yes, and he unfortunately
Yeah,
got
get
subbed
that
off.
bum out of there, bro. Get him out of there.
Look at these guys, bro. They're so happy, bro. This guy black. You guys are lucky. You guys are lucky. But yeah, still happy to get green arrow. But yeah, let's move on to myself and Stark. By the way, we're on free hit, and this is my free hit is on the left and Stark's on the right. Stark, do you wanna go first?
Yeah. So I'm just getting it up to see on my phone.
All right, go
No
for it.
worries. But in general, just like the way you guys constructed it, like I mean, you guys are definitely targeting the fixtures. I mean, look, you've got triple City, triple Brentford, triple Nottingham Forest. I mean, you guys are definitely going eggs in baskets, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Go on,
like
sorry,
it's
Stark.
like the foundation of free hit this week is attack the promoted teams. They've conceded, I think they've all conceded over 70 goals this season. So like they're conceding 2 goals per game. So you're looking at 2 returns from attackers in these fixtures. So you go triple Brentford, you go triple Forest, triple City. In terms of who you pick within that 9 players, it's obviously nuanced and you could different combinations. And also, I do like the Palace attacker because Tottenham are flying to the Arctic Circle and playing tonight against Bodo Mo Glint, however you say their name. So they'll be leggy. They might rotate. Palace. I know they've got the cup final next week, but I think their starting 11 will play and they'll want to get into a rhythm. They've got a full week's rest. They want a good performance. You want to go into a final feeling good, feeling confident with a good performance. And Tottenham play a
Yeah.
high line. The defense stinks. So.
The Eze pick is an absolute lock. Like he's a lock on free. I know that Palace will have one eye on the cup match to come soon, but one of the best differentials this week. I love that pick.
It's just the news we got. Like he's on pens. He converted his pen last game, and he looked amazing. He's in good form as well. Like he just balled out in that last game against Forest.
Yes,
Um,
bro. So talk to me about like the differential spots. Like how did
so
you like determine what was best for you?
for me, the differential
Yeah,
is obviously Sade. Sade is one of the biggest differential I think on free hit. I don't think people are buying Sade. So that's an edge for me. But at the same time, I'm kind of concerned. Am I going too heavy on Brentford, considering the fact that there is how many goals are they going to really score? I mean, I know they score a lot of goals normally, but that's at home. away from home, am I expecting them to score 3 or 4 goals? There's a potential that they could, and ideally either one of Wissa or Shade or Mbimo was involved in that, and I would appreciate whichever one is involved. I get a return there, but ideally I want Shade as a differential, and the biggest one I think even outside of Shade is Haaland. If he starts, he'll be with the captaincy, so I think that will give me the most maximum gain if he starts and obviously bags a hat trick, which is I think his ceiling, and I hope inshallah he does. And obviously the fact that I could have double force defense, the fact that I could have KDB, which I don't currently own, I could have Eze, who I don't own. So when I'm looking at this team, I only own currently 2 players. I think two, oh sorry, two, three. I think around 3 or 4 players I own in my current team, and I get extra 7 or 8 players like that I wouldn't normally have in my team. So it does feel like this is the week where I can really attack these promoted teams. I get to attack every single promoted team with a double or a triple up, which in my case there's a triple up in every single promoted team when I'm attacking, as well as I get to attack Spurs, who are only going to have 2 or 3 days rest before they play Palace, and Palace are flying right now. So I really do like this free hit. The only one spot that I would potentially consider is maybe dropping Munoz for a Ola Aina and maybe go for Pickford or Leno on my free hit.
Mm,
But I'm not so convinced that Fulham will keep a clean sheet. So yeah, another pick that I'm interested in, obviously, what's it called, Elanga. But if I drop Elanga, then I'm dropping one of my Forest defenders, which I don't really fancy, if I'm being honest. So
yeah. Can
yeah,
I
I'm
actually
overall quite
unpack that
pleased with this.
idea?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
So talk to me about like why double force defense versus like Alenga or Gibbs White as like the differential punt, because like I've noticed this. This is a thought from FPL Kilua. So he told me, he's like, whenever Forest play against these easier teams, they end up like not staying in their rigid structure like they do against bigger teams. Like they're more expensive and they end up conceding. They're more likely to concede. And like Elenga is nailed for 90 minutes. He's on some of the set pieces as well. Gibbs White could be one of the best differentials. I mean, he's
But
just
then you lose Sade
great
though.
against newly promoted sides. He runs the game. They're just curious to hear why you guys want double
But then
defense.
you lose Sade, like which is a big differential. You lose Sade, and then you lose and you're replacing a Forest defender with a much. Like I'm not seeing now any other good defenders, like especially goalkeepers. So
I've got so many thoughts about this free hit. To be honest, I've looked at all the teams I'm taught. Like the reason why, once again, like Kayman said, I love attacking these promoted teams is not only are they relegated and not only are they conceding like 2 goals a game, each team playing them has something to play for. So if Man City win, they pretty much guarantee Champions League football. Forest have to win based on their recent drop off and what they are battling for. And Brentford are also playing for Europa League and Conference League spots. So these teams are all fighting for something. They're all playing against shocking teams. So it now comes down to a kind of analysis in terms of positional weakness, perhaps, or recent trends. And for me, Forest defense, I think what Killer was suggested to you is absolutely bang on. They did win the last game 3-1 as well, so they conceded. I have looked at Alanga a lot because Forest concede a lot down their right hand side and they concede a lot of set pieces, and obviously he's on them. But with Adoy out, he played left wing last game. So, what kickoff is the Forest? Is it Sunday or Saturday?
I'll check. Hold on, 2 seconds.
Yeah, because if Alanga's right wing, I really want him. He's a great differential to
He's
have
a
because
Sunday. It's a Sunday
he's
game.
got a 15 pointer in him for sure. But I
But
just don't know
then
how they'll line
yeah,
up. I think their attacks underwhelming recently.
yeah. Kanji, do you prefer a Palace defender or a Fulham defender? I would say Palace, but what do you think?
Oh yeah, Munoz is clear. I mean, clear of
Yeah,
any of the Fulham defense.
yeah,
No
exactly.
problem.
Yeah, agree.
My
Facts,
question
facts.
is more so towards like I actually understand Cayman's draft. I actually get like because I went through it and like the 50-50s, it'd be pretty close to this, but I would say Stark, talk to me about that Brentford defender. I've never heard of him, and then talk to me about Palmer on free hit.
Coyote, Coyote. Hakamasha, Coyote. The thing is, it's like an anime name. That's why.
No,
Stark is a big anime fan, so
Kayode, he should have had 3 assists in the previous game. He takes all the long throws, even on the left hand side, even though he's a right back. Patterson got an assist versus Ipswich in the last game as a right back for Everton. Trippier also got a right back assist from open play in the game before that. I just think that Coyote is going to be very attacking. I think he could easily get an attack in return, and it just enables me to. I think there's less defensive spots that jump out to me, and I just think there's more midfielders where the upside is. I think there could if either of these teams concede, I think Coyote's the defender who could still get an attack in return.
Over
So
Munoz.
Rosalev played. 1 second. Rosalev played right back in the reverse fixture when it was 4-3. He created the most chances on the pitch from right back. He created 5 chances, and he also got an assist in the reverse fixture from right back. Coyote literally got an assist in the previous game from squaring the ball one-on-one with the keeper. He is being so advanced. I just think that he's going to get something attacking in his fixture. And when it comes to Munoz, I'm coming around to the fact that he's a great pick, don't get me wrong, but I think they concede. Of course he can get an attack in return. Like he's on my bench. Like it's last minute decisions, but I do think they'll concede as well.
Fair enough.
Yeah, makes sense. And then Palmer.
Kanji literally begged me in the chat to put him in my team, and now he's asking me why I've got him.
Yo, this guy
Cortex.
He's setting you up for failure, bro. Stark. He's setting you up for failure, man.
FPL Cortex. I now know what you mean about Gvardio and
Bro, he's
Kanji
setting you
slating
up,
you for
bro.
having
He's
it.
setting you up, bro. I'm telling you. Guys, chat. Let me know
No,
what you
what do you
guys think of
mean?
this draft, man. Let us know which draft you like.
Wait, bro, Stark, why do you have Palmer in the team if you don't want him though?
No, he's under 5% owned, and I think part of the reason why I think we can is Joe Linton really out for this game.
Yes.
Right, well, if Joe Linton's out, I think that our midfield trio of Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo, they're completely press resistant. And if I look at the way Newcastle play, they press really high up the pitch. So if we can play through their press, which I think we will, with players like Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo, even Cucurella, Cole will, then if we beat their press and give Palmer the ball in space behind Tonali, Gamarish, without Joe Linton, I think we can do a lot of damage with the confidence we should have gained from beating Fulham, beating Liverpool. Yeah, and I think it could be a very end-to-end game. And Palmer's on pens. He's 90-minute man. We're playing for a lot. I've got him on the back of my shirt. But listen, I'm not going to own him just because of that. It's very close. Like, there's a lot of combinations. I do like Alanga as a pick.
I can see a lot of love for your draft, Stark, on the chat. You got a Newman that likes your draft. You got Hammers that likes your draft, and Thinking Cap also likes your draft. So it's a lot of love over there, man.
Yeah. I mean, bro, it's
Appreciate
just you
you.
got Palmer in there, like it's if you can go for Sade from Sade to Palmer in any week, I'd be like, yo, do it. I don't care the fixture is. That's me, bro. That's me.
Okay, fair enough. That's okay. All right,
Bro,
boys.
Coyote should have had 2 assists versus United, bro. Just saying. Honestly, the only reason why I didn't get 2 was because it was given as an own goal. Otherwise, it would have been 2 assists.
Yeah. All right. Should we move
So,
on to?
last question to you guys last question. What if we get news and, if Holland is benched and Marmoush is starting, that's easy. You would just switch Holland to Marmoush. What if we get news that De Bruyne is on the bench and it's like, let's say, Foden in the 10 or Marmoush in the 10 and Holland up top and Savinho and Doku are the wingers type of thing? Like, what would you do
To
then?
put it simply, we just react to the team news.
Yeah, we just
The
react to
more
like.
chaos, the better for free hit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think
So
I'm
if De
gonna go
Bruyne
for
is
one of the
benched,
City
you would
mids. I'll be
switch.
honest. I'll go for the City mids. If he's Foden, I'm gonna go for Foden. If he starts.
Yeah,
I would
because
I would like
you can't
Doku.
switch Wissa and Wood, bro. Those guys have to be locked in,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing. So you have to downgrade from De Bruyne to what? To Doku or Savio
Yeah.
or Foden.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Do you have a preference between any of them, or would you just let's say
I
they all
prefer
add on
Foden
up?
over Doku, but yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Right.
All
Should
right,
we
say
move on?
less, boys. I think we broke it down nicely. Yeah, very nice. So
All right.
moving
So
on to the teams that are on the beach versus the teams that have motivation. Cayman, this graphic is gorgeous, by the way. Why don't you walk us through some of the teams that are on the beach, Cayman? What do you think
yeah,
of these teams?
I personally think obviously like the teams like Palace, I don't think they have much left to play for. Obviously, they're prioritizing FA Cup final, they're in the final, but they're still trying to keep their rhythm. So the asset, if you own them, I think they're kept. But I would be worried to keep them long term because that Wolves fixture, I think, is a short turnaround between the FA Cup final and that fixture. I think it's like 3 or 4 days turnaround. But I think if you have those players, I think they can still keep them. The fixtures are really good, especially Tottenham. With Everton assets, I see why people kept them, especially if you got defenders or if you bought them. But with Tarkovsky out, I wouldn't be really investing or buying their players right now because their defense is not strong, as Benji obviously highlighted that, and Kanji as well. And Ipswich, obviously, they're relegated. They're on the beach. Leicester as well. They're all the promoted teams are on the beach. So yeah, Liverpool, they just won the league, so they're also on the beach. United, we're prioritizing Europa. We're playing our B team in every single Europe Premier League game, to be honest, or most of them at least. And Spurs also prioritizing Europa. West Ham, they're safe from relegation. They don't really have anything to fight for. Same with Wolves. So yeah, these are teams that's on the beach. Whereas Arsenal, I have Arsenal that's not on the beach because they are still mathematically they can miss out on top five if they lose all their next three remaining
Damn.
games. Mathematically, it's possible. However, we do assume that they're going to beat Southampton, hence they should be safe. But again, they're not safe. So I do think that now that they're out of the Champions League, they're probably going to play their first team in the Premier League. Villa, they're going for top five, so they're not on the beach. They got something to play for. Bournemouth, I think they're playing for top eight, if I'm not mistaken, guys.
Yep.
Right, so
They're
they're playing
eighth
for
right now.
Europe, chance to play in Europe. And then you got Brentford is the same thing. Brentford, Bournemouth, and I
Yep.
think Brighton, they're all fighting for Europe.
Brighton, yeah.
To be playing in Europe. So and then I think Chelsea playing going for, of course, top five. Same with City, Newcastle, and Forest. So I think if you are buying this week, you got to look at those type of teams who have something to play for, especially the likes of. I don't really like Villa, and I don't want to recommend them. But I would say if you're buying anyone, maybe it's Rodgers or Watkins. But the entry point is probably next week. And from Bournemouth, again, I'll probably say entry point in game week 38, not this week. But Brentford, this is the week you invest in. The same with Forest. They got really good fixtures to end the season. And City, of course. These are the three teams I'll be investing this week. Go on. What do you guys think?
Yeah, makes sense. I guess the question is like, you probably want to be targeting teams like if you have transfers, you want to be targeting it from teams on the right hand side. So maybe, targeting somebody like a Watkins or Rogers for Spurs in game week 37, maybe even targeting some Bournemouth players in game week 38, the likes of Semenyo, Clivert, even Ilson would be great picks in those weeks. Even targeting, again, you have the talismanic players. You've got Chris Wood from Forest, Isak from Newcastle, Holland from Man City, Palmer from Chelsea. Like these guys all have motivation to end the season. They have something to fight for. Even potentially drop Pedro when he comes back. Bumo is there. It's probably going to be his last season at Brentford. He probably wants to end it with a bang. I think his last home fixture is what Fulham at home in 37. So there's so many like teams that have something to play for that if you're spending transfers, I prefer buy players from motivated teams. That's why I really didn't like the O'Brien move, just because I mean Everton have good defense, but what's the point without Tarkowski and they have nothing to fight for anymore. But hindsight's 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Moving
like
on.
everything on the right side except Arsenal, to be honest. I don't know if Arsenal actually have anything to fight for, but yeah.
Yeah. Stark, anything to say it?
Back, well.
No, you guys covered it amazingly. Like I don't want to
All
waffle
right.
on. You guys covered it. I'm just
One
Meerkat's just
question.
released his
Go on.
Meerkat's just released his thread about positional weaknesses, and obviously I'm just taking a look at it, and he's saying that um based on the graphic between Forest and Leicester, he said Alanga or Gibbs White could easily be on the score sheet.
Yeah, I would not be
So
Makes
surprised.
sense.
just to,
Well, that's interesting. Maybe we should include that in our PFC section.
Uh, I
Yeah.
think I can probably add it. Yeah, I can add it. Yeah.
Um,
Just send in the group.
don't
But
don't
before
let,
I
let
want to
me
touch
just
on a topic right here quickly. Is Isak a sell this week? I mean, we'll probably touch on the next slide. But if you guys just remember the fixtures, it's Chelsea, Arsenal, and Everton. But we'll move to the next slide. This is the striker slide. We got obviously the best forwards to buy in game week 36. I know obviously not everyone is on free hit. There are very few small percentage of the game is on free hit. And one of the toughest things to do this week is to decide between what strikers to prioritize. I'm looking at people that wants to sell Quinnia. I'm looking at people that wants to sell the likes of Mateta. Some even looking at freaking selling Isak, right? So which strikers to buy this week and which strikers are kept from this based on these stats on the left hand side as well as the fixtures you guys can see. I'll go with Kanji first. Go on, Kanji.
I mean, I would be looking to bring in. Damn, this is a really difficult question. I mean, the Man City guys, it's like you don't even know if they're going to start or not. I think if I had to pick one of these guys to keep for the rest of the season, it's going to be Chris Wood, just because he has the motivation of trying to make it into the top five for Champions League football. Though his data is actually the worst. Like it surprised me how poor his data is. But you know how Chris Wood is. It's like he's one of the best finishers in the league. So even though he only has half a chance, he buries it. And I think Wissa is probably the best answer I should give, just given that his non-pen XGI is the highest. But keep in mind that he doesn't have penalties, unlike the other options. So yeah, I'd recommend Wood. What would you guys suggest if you had to pick a striker from now till the end?
Go on,
From now to
Stark.
the end, man. I don't know, man. Why can't you just go for like a striker for this game week and then bring in Evan Nilsson for Leicester? Because I wouldn't want to own Evan
Yeah.
Nilsson now.
So
I'd want him for
that's
38.
actually yeah, that's the same reasoning I picked Wood. Because like you get 36 and 37 good fixtures, and 38 you bench him and you play even Nielsen or a Bournemouth asset that you have in your team. That's my original thinking.
Mm,
Um, so
yeah.
I'll just touch on it quickly. So in regards to just 2 seconds, mate. All right. Oh, sorry, they just lost you guys. 2 seconds. There we go. I forgot about you guys again. All right. Hold on a second. Yeah. Um, Apologies for the tech issue. Okay, so in regards to my thing is right. If you have Mateta, he's a keep this week. I don't think he's a sell, right? If you have Marmoush, if you get a leak that he's benched, then obviously you can sell him. I understand why you sell him. And I think the buy is if you don't have Wissa, I would have number one on my list for Wissa, and number two would be Chris Wood. I think those are the two, one and two. I would have. Again, as Kanji said, Chris Wood has more to play for, so I mean, same with Brentford. They're also going for Europe, so I think those are the two priority lists I would probably look to buy. And Cunha, those are the three ones that I'll buy, unless you have enough funds to go to Haaland, which I think very few people do. And then in regards to if you have like the likes of Cunha, Mateta, and obviously Chris Wood, all these guys is a keep. I don't know why people are DMing me asking me should I sell Mateta this time. He's playing Spurs, like and Cunha, Brighton, they could just as well easily concede 3-4 goals. So I would say be happy with the players that you got, especially these good players, strikers. Like even Evan Nilsson, I don't think he's a sell. If you have him, I think he's a keep just as easily. I think he could score versus Villa. Would you guys be surprised? Like, and then he's got what? Leicester in game week 38. So I'd say
Mm.
be cautious with your selling. One thing I want to ask is Isak is so because if you're looking at his fixtures, they're quite difficult for an attacker to be, let's just say, because Chelsea does have a pretty decent defense as of recently, especially with Lavia back, and Arsenal, of course, they're going to play away to Arsenal. It's not at home to St James Park. Same with Everton. They're all quite strong defense. Is Isak potentially so, considering the fact that we've got so many options currently available?
Yeah, I don't think
I
Isak is worth the premium price point at this point. Like, I don't think the points difference between him and Wood and Wissa will be large from now till the end. So if it's funding you to get somebody like, I don't know, a Guardiola in or getting a Saka or Palmer later on down the road, yeah, it makes sense.
Stock?
mm, I- my thing is that I feel like this season specifically, Isak turns up in the big games. I've seen him score against us already. I've seen him score against Arsenal on multiple occasions. And Everton's defense about Tarkowski is quite poor. They just conceded two to Ipswich, and that Everton game's at home, and they will be in a Champions League battle for that game. But the big boys need to step up. So he's on pens. He plays 90 minutes if they need a goal. If they're
He
3
plays
nil up,
75
4 nil
minutes.
up.
He plays 75 minutes
No,
usually.
he
Yeah.
played 90 minutes against Brighton and they were a goal down. So the
Yeah,
point
but
is if
he
they're
doesn't
winning
play
4
90
nil,
though. He's not. Yeah, yeah, I actually think like that. Even going into next season, I'm going to emphasize this. Like Isak's not a 90-minute player going forward. But anyway,
if
you go.
Newcastle are losing or drawing the game, Isak's not
Then he
coming
stays
off.
on. Yeah, but if they're up 2-1 or 3-1, he's something off.
But
That's
Stock,
the
you
thing.
do want your player to
Agreed.
be still on, even if they're up 2-3-1, doesn't matter, because that's the advantage of having an asset, the minutes, because the longer they stay, the more likelihood that they're getting a return. And if Isak is coming off when they're winning or blowing out a team, the most returns likelihood is when you're blowing out a team, because then you just keep rolling the ball, right? And then Isak doesn't get that. The likes of Barnes is getting double digit soul. The likes of Murphy is getting double digit soul. So I do think there's a good point to raise because Isak is not a 90 minutes man. I don't think he is.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
where you get
telling
to the
you,
next question
in
of
these
like,
final three games, Isak will play 90 minutes in all of them.
I would
Who wants
strongly
to bet me
disagree
on it?
because you can't say that because we have seen even in big games where Isak has come off in 70, 80th minutes. We've seen it. He gets lots of knee goals. He's not. I don't even know, bro. Based on what I've seen,
The
he's
only
not a
time,
90 minutes
I'm
guy.
telling you, the only time he will come off is if the game's done and it's two goals and they put a defender on.
I've seen him come off when he was
And
1-1. It
when
was, I think it was versus Brentford, was there, or some team. I think I remember. or something like that. Yeah, who's
But when
England's
he was
first?
dealing with his knock, or they were in between the cup final, they like I'm saying in
Maybe.
this
Yeah.
running where they want Champions League football, if they're at like Isak, Chelsea's defense, obviously our defense has improved drastically. I don't think he'll feast in that game. Arsenal obviously is a good defense as well, and Everton try and keep the games low scoring. I can see that from that perspective. I can see why you'd want to sell him. I agree, but I'm just
Even
being
versus
devil's
that Brighton
advocate.
game, he wasn't so promising, was he? I mean, on from other than the
Mm-mm.
pen, like he wasn't so promising. He didn't look like he was threatening very much. Let's be honest. I mean,
I
I
wouldn't
didn't
blame
watch the full
anyone for
game. I was
selling.
watching on and off. But uh,
I
if I
wouldn't
look,
blame
if he
anyone for
gets me,
selling.
yeah, I feel like if you're getting someone like Haaland, or if you're getting someone like even Cunha, or even maybe Wood, even somewhat to an extent, or Wissa, I do see the rationale behind it, especially if you can upgrade in other areas. So yeah, I would
All I'd
probably
say is
consider it.
want him.
Yeah.
You'd want Isak in 38 against
The
Everton at
38, you'd
home
probably want him.
without.
Yeah, in 30, you'd probably want him. But look, if you
They've
need the
probably got
funds,
the
yeah,
most
go for it. I
replacement
think. Yeah.
funds for what?
So for
Funds
example,
for what, bro?
Saka is a buy now, though, isn't he? Come game week 37, 38, he's a buy. You need him for captaincy for game week 38. Undisputed, he's the best captain in 38.
Yeah, 100% he is. Yeah,
I wouldn't say he's the best cap because he could get an early sub, but yeah,
Um,
he's a great
well,
option. I
yeah
can't lie. He'd
Kanji
be
early
top
don't
sub for
three.
what
Kanji
though,
you don't
Kanji?
captain him then. Kanji, you don't
Hmm?
captain him yet. Let us captain him. You
So
worry
wait,
about
early sub for what,
early sub.
Kanji? To do what? What does he have to do for early sub for what exactly? I don't understand.
No, the game probably might be over at halftime type thing. Like they sub on the
It's
kids.
like, so if the game is over halftime, Saka is blanking, then okay.
No. He's gonna get returns, bro. I'm just saying. He's not
We
90
can only
minutes
go
anyway.
based on what's on paper, Kanji, and he's playing Southampton on paper. Who else is playing Southampton?
Bro, when we get to 38 captaincy, we'll have that discussion.
No, I'm telling you now, if he's healthy and he's gonna the team is fine and he's healthy, he's my captain. Forget the
Yeah, it
context.
makes
Just
sense,
quickly going
bro.
back
Yeah,
to
no, it makes
Isak,
sense.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Just going back to Isak, the pros and cons of him are they have a lot to play for. He's on pens and he's a baller. The cons would be he's been out of form to an extent, and the fixtures on paper are bad. That's what you would say, right?
Yeah.
I think he asked me. Sorry, what's the question? Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, I'm completely caught off guard.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Sorry, my bad.
What
I
the
was reading
comments?
something on the chat. I got caught off guard. I think it was Thinking Cap was saying while he was talking. I was reading. He said that why is Mateta keep when his minutes are not good compared to a Isak, for example. I didn't say Isak is a sell because of his minutes. I said Isak is a sell. I think he's got tough fixtures, and I think he costs a lot of money. I think if you need the money to upgrade in other areas, people are buying KDB. People may buy Haaland if you get the leaks, right? I think if you need the money and you're upgrading, such as KDB, Haaland, or even Saka, who I think will be buy come game 37, then yes, I think Isak is a sell. I'll be looking to sell Isak come game week 37 for Watkins. So, and Mateta, why is he a keep? Because he's playing Spurs, and I think he'll start. And if we're playing Spurs and he starts, Mateta has a ceiling of getting 1 or 2 goals. There we go.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, he could
Makes
easily get
sense, bro.
he
Yeah,
could easily get a goal, and then you've made a transfer hoping that that player gets a brace to
yeah.
outscore and make the transfer worthwhile. Like, just
Yeah.
keep Mateta for one more week and then
Would you
reassess.
would you consider the Isak to Watkins move in 37? Like, for example, Newcastle are
Yes,
playing Arsenal,
As long
Villa
as
have
Emery is
Spurs.
not having any agenda on Watkins, I'm gonna watch him this week. I think Watkins is keep an eye on. He's on the watch list. I want to watch his minutes versus Bournemouth. If he's getting another early sub, I'm not so convinced that I want to go there.
Yeah, because I noticed that he got the 70th minute sub, and then Mullen came on, and Mullen had like another big chance. I think he hit the crossbar or something like that. So if that chance had gone to Watkins, I'm sure he would have buried, one of the chances. And Watkins gets so many chances. It's a pity he doesn't get the 90, especially with Tielemans potentially out. Maybe it's like a higher percentage chance he'd take a penalty, especially if Asensio's not on the pitch as
Even
well, right?
Rashford could be back for 37. That's even worse.
Oh yeah, we have some big
Really?
news actually. We have some big no, we have some big news. So
Yeah.
Tielemans, I think, is set to miss the rest of the season, and Tielemans is a big miss for Aston Villa. But
Okay.
what I would say with regards to that is if they've got Kamara, Onana, McGinn, they can all fill in and compete for the DM spots, and I think that would free up the left wing because McGinn plays left wing for some reason. McGinn plays left wing in the Prem for Aston Villa when they've got
It's an
all these
absolute joke.
balls.
It's
So
an
yeah.
absolute joke. All right. I
No
think that's that.
stress.
Watkins on watch list. I think Cunha, Wood, Wissa, they're all a buy. Mateta is not a buy. Mateta is a keep. Haaland is a buy if you get a leak that he starts. Watkins is wait and watch. Evan Nelson is wait and watch. And if you have him, you keep Evan Nelson, I think. because you're going to buy him again for 38.
Wait,
I think he's a buy.
wait, who takes Villa's set pieces without Tielemans and Rashford on the pitch?
Oh, that's a good question.
Sensio? I don't even know.
I don't even know, bro.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. Maybe Cash. Maybe I don't know.
Who knows, bro?
Dinia does. Sorry.
Hmm.
All right. Should we move
Yeah,
on?
I'm really not sure. Yeah,
All right.
100%.
I think the fixture's already touched on, right? There's nothing touched on here, isn't it?
Nah,
One thing I
that
want to
side's
touch on, by
done,
the way,
bro.
one of the advantage of free hit is the fact that I have like Liverpool asset. I have like two Liverpool assets, attacker and a defender, Salah, Konate. I have, I think I have three Newcastle assets this week where they play Chelsea. I have a double Arsenal, so I get to avoid 7 or 8 players within my team when I'm free hitting. So that's another advantage of me actually free hitting this week. I just thought that would
Mhm.
be something that I should let everyone know. That's another advantage
Yeah,
of
it's so
free
unfortunate
hit.
that you guys didn't get the double game week in 36, man.
Yeah,
So
it's all right.
unlucky,
It's all
man.
right. Yeah, obviously that we didn't get a double. We're
Say
supposed
that,
to get a
say
double.
that without a smile on your
Yeah.
face,
No. I mean,
Kanji, you prick.
I want the double too, bro. I mean, I want my double game week for Konza on the bench boost and Roger. It would have been
Yeah.
nice, man.
Listen, we backed. Well, we
Right.
thought we would get a double, but it's unfortunate we didn't. That was the risk we took. But listen, it's not over yet. We haven't used our free hit yet. You could just as easily, well, get like 15 pence over the field. It's not impossible. So yeah, let's see. I'm moving on to the goals considered charts. For Meerkat, he's showing the Leicester one. So it says that they consider total 76 goals, on goals 3, penalties 3. I'm surprised they've only considered 3 penalties. I thought there would be more, but okay. The striker, so strikers is the blue dots, right wing is the red dots. So then Bimo, you can see if he was to cook it there. Left wing, I can see a lot of green. Can you guys see a lot of green? I
Mhm.
can see a lot of green as well. So what are you guys thinking based on looking at this? For Leicester.
It seems pretty balanced. Like everybody just kills Leicester. That's what I see.
Yeah. Doesn't what's his name? Fires on the left. Is it like a left centre
It's
back or
a,
is it right centre back? Fires.
it's an absolute free for all, my goodness.
Yeah.
But all I'd say is, yeah, Chris Wood, you gotta have him on the free hit, man.
He's
Look at the
locked on
blue
my free
dots.
here, bro. He's locked on my free hit.
Facts. No.
So
But yeah,
sorry, my bad. I meant to say Lange. Apologies. I said Mbemo. Mbemo's for Ipswich. So I got the next slide for Ipswich. You can see the red dots is for Mbemo. You can see there's a lot of red dots. That's why I can see a lot of people captaining Mbemo, which completely makes sense. You've got what? Got a lot of green as well. Shadow plays left wing, right? Or right wing? He plays right wing.
Oh, and
left.
Bumo, it plays
Sade
right
plays
wing,
left
bro.
wing.
And Boomer plays right wing.
Yeah.
Shadow plays left wing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sade's left, yeah.
So there's a lot of green and a lot of red. I can see. So
Facts, bro.
yeah, man. It could be a good.
Bro.
Anything important to note here, guys?
Yes. Why does it say? All right, cool. So they've conceded 6 penalties, right? And if you obviously look at the red dots for Mbumo, that's a hell of a lot. Even
Yeah, it is a
Wissa as well.
lot,
So
bro.
Wissa and Mbumo will cook for this game week. Second, I've actually looked. Ipswich are very vulnerable from set pieces, and Mbumo takes them. So, and Ipswich concede a lot recently from the right hand side, like fullbacks overlapping. Mbumo and Coyote combination is going to be cooking. You get me?
Yeah. And then Brumo might be missing the game. I'm sorry, Leif Davis might be missing the game for Ipswich as well. So
He is. He's
anyways,
suspended.
yeah. Facts, bro.
Okay. Should we? A second.
Yo,
Sorry.
is the
Apologies.
camera glitching or is it just me?
Sorry, it's cat glitching. Just give me 2 seconds.
Wait,
Sorry. Just
here's a question. Here's a quick question. Oh, is it PFC? Yeah. Let's
yeah.
move
Not
on.
yet.
It's
Not yet. Not
PFC,
yet.
surely, right?
Not yet. Not yet. Just sorry.
Not yet.
Don't stress, bro.
Sorry. There you go.
Don't
Can you
stress, man.
see each other?
Mm,
There you go.
yes.
Sorry. There you
Nice,
go.
nice. Okay.
All right.
No worries, bro.
We'll move on to the next slide. All right. Cool.
Perfect.
I just want to touch on
Yeah,
the
if we're
captains before we
going
move on to PFC. By the way.
yeah, shoot your shot. What are you thinking, bro?
Haaland for me is the standout captaincy this week. If he get the league that he starts, and then followed by I would say Mbemo, and then the third one is between KDB and Salah probably.
Yo, can I ask
so
you,
that's my
like, for
top three.
Stark, for Stark and you, I honestly know, like, you guys have different teams slightly, but captaincy, I'm curious to hear your thought process here. We're like, Stark, you're sitting there at 170K. The goal is to try to make the top 100K. like the majority, let's say like 60% are probably going to be on Bumo. He'll have the higher yo. Would you consider backing against Mbumo just because of your rank position with a few weeks to play?
For me, I'm not really bothered about my rank. I'm more concerned on my head-to-head with someone I've got with money on the line. So I really I'm above him right now. So I'm trying to protect my rank, even though my overall rank might not be good, but there's money on the line, and that's more important than rank. So I'm trying to actually keep above him. So I just think Mbumo's got more routes to points, and he's going to play 90. Haaland, he's not even nailed to start. He'll probably get early subbed. He's a striker. I just think Mbumo could destroy that. What did he get in the last game? It was 4-3, and I think he got a brace and an assist, I think, or something.
Yeah, he's averaging like 12 points against newly promoted sides. It's ridiculous, man. Crazy.
Do
But
you know
then
what it
I'll
is as
flip the
well,
question back
Kanji?
to. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, 1 second before Kayman comes in. If I captain Mbumo, then I actually want him to return. If I captain Haaland, I want Mbumo to not return. Whereas if I captain Mbumo, if Haaland returns, I gain rank from him anyway because he'll be a differential. See where I'm coming from? Like if I don't captain
Right.
Mbumo, I will own him and want him to not get any returns.
Yeah. But if you're sitting there with Wissa and Shada, they're probably going to get returns and cover that. Anyway, I know what you're saying. Don't worry. But let me ask you from Kayman's perspective, right? So Kayman, you're sitting there like top 2K in the world. There's a dream to try to finish with like triple digits, maybe even try to maybe I don't know, who knows, outside chance to win. Um, Nobody, I'm assuming, at your rank is going to be even considering Holland. I don't even think
No,
they're
I
going to
don't
own
think
him.
many people will. I think there will be a very small percentage. I think maybe 10% will
Yeah.
consider
So
him.
what if he gets a hat trick though?
Well, then I'll
Like,
be
what if he
flying,
actually
and if
gets a
he
hat
gets,
trick?
yeah, I'll be flying, and if he doesn't get a hat trick, then I'll be going down the hill, and I'm willing to take the risk. But again, I'll know that he starts, and I'm willing to back against Mbimo versus Ipswich with Haaland versus Southampton away.
Yeah, I mean, this is a triple captain fixture, bro. If you still have your triple captain left, would you be putting it on like a minute's risk Holland here, or would you put it on Bumo,
Well, I
or
don't
would
like the
you
way you
save
put
it
that
for another week?
question. What do you mean minutes risk? If we not get the league that he starts, how is he minutes risk?
No, I mean, bro, he's not playing 90 minutes for Southampton, bro.
But
He
the
can get a
70
hat trick
minutes
in
of
half
Haaland
an
versus
hour, bro.
Southampton is more than good enough, right? Because when he scored the
Exactly.
hat trick versus Ipswich, he scored it in less than 60 minutes, I think, last time.
Yeah, then he did nothing. Well, you know how he does. He scores a goal. Sometimes he kills them, or sometimes he scores the goal and he disappears the rest of the game. Like so.
Yeah,
It's
look,
I
I
don't
am
know.
taking the risk with minutes, fair enough, in terms of the fact that he may not get 90. However, I am backing that Southampton are absolutely, you say they're really poor. And I hope that Haaland gets 2 returns. That's my minimal expectation. Worst case, I hope he gets 1 return and all bonus points. But we will see.
So stick your neck out on the line. If you had your triple captaincy left, who would you be
Yeah,
putting it on from
I
now to
would.
the
I
end of
mean,
the
if I know the
season?
Haaland starts, I'm putting on Haaland. Absolutely, yes.
Um, all right, cool. Interesting. You're saying it with your chest. I mean, I'm definitely captaining Bumo myself. This is a
I
big
know,
lock.
I
He'll
know.
be in my bet
Everybody
flip
go
as well.
captain and Boomo. Boomo.
100%.
Yeah,
Shall
I'm
we move
leaning
on to
towards
the
Mbumo. I'm
Fair
leaning
enough.
towards Mbumo myself.
Perfect.
Fair enough.
Shall we move on to the best portion of the podcast?
All right.
Let's move
Let's
on
go.
to PFC. So just reviewing last week's PFC in Game Week 35. By the way, if you are on the stream, thank you so much for all your support. Really appreciate you guys. We're at 193 subscribers. We have 20 people watching live, which is probably the highest that I've honestly I think seen. I think we had like 30 or something once, but consistently reaching like 15 plus like viewers every single time we come live. Thank you so much for all your support. Appreciate it if you could just drop a like or something on the video, as well as just subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot. And thank you so much if you do want to be including your PFC in the chat. We'd love to hear like what you guys think. So just reviewing last week, I think Kayman, you had the first pick last week, right?
Yeah, I had Verdi. No, yeah, I think I went second actually. I was second. Can Stark was first. So Stark, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Okay, go first, bro. How was it?
Yeah, I wanted to have Bowen, but he was 10.7% owned, so I just went with Kudus because I just wanted to target Spurs. Gvardiol flop, they should have conceded. Isak captain, got a return.
Yeah, Vardio flop. That was a risky one, bro.
I didn't own him, and I just thought Cunha. I had Cunha, so I wanted them to concede. I thought they would, and I think they deserved to, but they just didn't. They
Facts,
didn't.
bro.
So it's what it is.
I don't know how Vardio ended up with the return. I feel dirty with his points, especially the bonus, bro. Cunha hit the post. Aid Nuri hit the post. It was crazy, man.
I don't feel dirty. I own him and I pay him the premium price. He deserves to give me a freaking return. Yeah, go on.
How about you, Kayman?
Yeah, so Vardy. Vardy was the man on the mission right now. He had a
Wait,
really
you
nice
punted
fixture at
Vardy?
Southampton.
You put
Yeah, yeah,
Vardy is
yeah,
Leicester Islam. Wow.
yeah.
I
So
think he's on
Southampton.
199 goals now after
Yeah.
that goal, I think.
So yeah, Vardy done really well, got a
Damn.
goal. Diaz flop. There's I thought he'll be drunk, right? These South Americans, they love to drink and whatnot. So he didn't get any minutes. Isak captaincy. I told everyone, you guys are all welcome. You all are welcome. I told you guys all week, Isak is the cap. If you went there, you all are welcome. I went to Focus Post actually where he says I'm not sure to captain. I told him Captain Isak can thank me later. I think he didn't listen. He went with Mamish. So Foco, you can hold that one. Next time, maybe you should listen to FLK, man. Shout out to Mo in the chat as well, by the way. But yeah, man, it's just that's what we do, bro. It's a little bit of a late comeback in the PFC. So yeah, three
Yeah,
for three.
so
Yeah.
I had my PFC was I mean I went for KDB plus Marmoush, went for the combo. KDB was the punt, Marmoush was the cap. Only KDB delivered. It was weird because I thought Marmoush should be starting in the striker position with KDB behind him, but Marmoush was actually playing right wing. Kind of odd. You know, he hasn't returned ever when he's been playing in the right wing position in his entire career. That's crazy. So yeah, but what's interesting is that Man City Southampton love to concede to opposing right wingers. So it's a interesting immovable force versus like unstoppable object. Let's see what happens next week. But yeah, so I flopped on my captain didn't give me anything. My punt got me the point for KDB, and I flopped on Saka because I didn't think he was gonna start. Well, he started and then he blanked. So I got really lucky with that, but I'll take 2 points to the bank. So how about the overall league table for PFC, man? How is it looking on the season?
Let's see. Well, I've made a bit of a comeback. I've currently got 45 points. I was a dead last because I wasn't really trying that much. Now that I'm trying, you see what happens. I'm making a comeback. I'm right behind Stock, tailing his ass. Um, so yeah, 45 points. Can I catch this guy? I don't know what you guys think, Chad. Do you guys think I could catch Stock? Maybe, maybe not, because this guy's playing quite safe. He's captaining Haaland, same as me. And this guy said, "Didn't you say you're captaining Mbimo?" We're gonna see anyways who's your captain, because you did say you're gonna captain. Yeah, let's see. You said you're gonna captain Mbimo, so I hope you stick to that on your PFC as well.
Nah,
So
Stark is playing games, bro. Stark is playing games. Whatever you're doing, he's doing,
so
bro.
Kanji, yeah, man. Overall, I'm quite happy. Stark is still in the pack though.
Nah. Stark is leading, bro. He deserves it. He's had an incredible season. But hopefully you guys flop on the last hurdle. Let's see what happens.
All right, you got something to say,
Yeah, I
Stark, on
think
this?
I'd be uncatchable if I kept rotating Pedro Porro and Joao Pedro as well. So
Well, it's a skill in
I've
it. It's a
actually
skill
got
issue that you can't
balls,
do that, so it's all right.
got balls, and I've got creativity, and I go by
Well,
based on my team, not Pedro Porro JP rotations. But yeah,
but
let's move.
balls don't equal to this point, so yeah. Moving on. For my next week, I was the first pick. I went with Ilanga. This one's the banker. This one that's the one that can never fail versus Leicester. I don't have it on my own team, but I wish I could. But obviously, I think I'm sacrificing a defender, and I don't like any other goalkeepers. So I think Ilanga has an assist in him at least bare minimum versus Leicester. Flop Pedro Porro. This is another banker. Absolute lock.
Oh, drop. Wait, flop Pedro Porro. Wow,
Mm.
wow. I'm shocked.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Hey, I had fun to start the season, right? And I was being very differential, whatnot. Now it's the crunch time. There's no time to have fun right now. I have to clutch up right now. I have to, I have to clutch up. Haaland captain
By the
because
way,
I
we
got
have
balls.
rules. Like we have rules by the way for PFC. So like for punt, it has to be like 10% or below like ownership, like total selected ownership. And then for flop, it has to be 15% or higher. And you're not able to do like a defender flop multiple weeks in a row. So if you flop a defender the week after, you have to flop like a midfielder or a striker. So those are the rules that we have, and Kayman's playing within the rules, so he's just playing the system. Gotta appreciate that, respect the grind, even though it does feel a little bit cheap. But it's fine. I've been there myself. All good. But it's nice to see that both of you have gone with Holland, and probably both of you guys will have him on the free hit as well. I hope he doesn't start, and you guys end up with 0 points. But for my PFC this week, I went for Gibbs White. I honestly think Gibbs White is the key to Nottingham Forest. They've been horrific in attack. But I just think this is a matchup that suits him. He does very well against newly promoted sides. I know he's lost his pen share, he's lost his free kick share as well as set pieces, but it's just one of those picks where I just think he runs the team. Like against the newly promoted sides, I back Forest to finish in the top five. That's why I'm backing Gibbs White as my punt. I really like that. And then for my flop, it's Kirkes. He's coming up against an Aston Villa team that is a little bit disappointed. You know, they're out of the Champions League. They're out of the I believe they're out of the Champions League races as well. They're out of the cup. But I still think I'd always back Aston Villa to score. So hopefully Kirkes blanks. And the captaincy is on Bumo. It's been a lock. It's never in doubt. How about you, Stark?
Sade, punt, got to be done. Murphy, the Velociraptor, as a flop. He ain't doing nothing against the boys in blue. Come on.
Wait,
And
wait,
I'm
hold on a
protecting
second. Hold
rank.
on a second. Nah, Stark. I gotta expose you. Hold on. So your punt is Sade, but you didn't include Sade in your team.
I could include him in my team, though. Alanga's not in Kayman's free hit, so why is he allowed to punt Alanga?
Yeah, Kayman, what are you doing? What is this? Like some reverse psychology or what's happening, bro?
Hey, hang on a second. Yeah. Wait, Kanji, where's Morgan Gibbs White in your team?
No, but I'm not on free hit, bro. You guys are on free hit, fam. You guys are on free hit, bro. Come on, bro. You're putting him on
Yo,
punching. I'm putting him on free hit, bro. Come on, bro. Yo, say it with your chest, boys. Come on, fam. You guys are like half. Nah.
yo, like Sade, bro. Sade. So I'm picking players that Kayman wants to. Kayman wants Sade to do well, and he wants Murphy to flop, and he wants Haaland to return. So, this is I'm toying with him emotionally, because he's behind me, trying to catch me up. I want Kayman to cheer for my success. You get me?
This guy is a troll.
I want the K. I want the Kayman juice. That's what I need for my picks.
But he doesn't have a Elanga though. When Elanga, no, you don't have a Elanga, so there we go.
They're saying
Nice,
Kayman's muted. We can't hear it.
No, I think they can hear me now. I was muted earlier. Apologies. I think I was muted earlier. But
no worries, no
but
worries.
yo, you said you got captain is Mbima. Why do you have Haaland as a captain then?
I'm protecting my rank in PFC.
There we go. Who doesn't have balls now, guys? Who doesn't have balls now, guys? Yeah. Come on, bro. Look at this guy, bro.
Yo,
Look
this
at this
guy's
guy.
playing games, bro.
Look at this
That's
guy playing
crazy.
too much games, bro.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's crazy, bro.
This is Kanji's free hit.
Protecting rank. That's crazy.
You can't hear. I think you should be able to hear me now, bro. I think you should be able to hear me now.
They
Hold on.
can.
Alright, cool.
Wait.
I think they're bugging.
I think they can.
So going into game week 36, the team actually looks pretty close to what I believe is a good free hit team. I know that sounds crazy, but on paper, I think it looks excellent. I've got my double Man City. I got my triple Forest. I've got Bumo with the cap. Then I've got Palmer, Salah, and Isak, just the most consistent players. Just forget the fixtures. I love those guys this season. And yeah, I've got the bench boost active, which is really different in the community. Unfortunately, we didn't get the double game week that we were expecting in game week 36. This would have looked much better if I had Konza with the double game week, but it is what it is. You know what? The entire bench boost for the community has been like, 10 points max, and you're chilling. And I've won on triple captaincy points. I got Salah. I've won on assistant manager. I went, I think, what was my path again? I went like, I think I went Eddie Howe, and then I went to Arteta. So I had a really good path. I matched the. I have low moan trumpet,
Well,
bro.
sorry.
I killed
I'm just
AM. I
impersonating
killed triple
Kanji
cap.
blowing his own trumpet, guys. Sorry.
Bro, I killed all the chips. Oh, listen, all I need is 10 points or more, and I can banter mans. Even though I've had a horrendous season, I beat everybody with chips. My only issue is just dropping Salah. Ugh, the hole is just too big. I can't dig out of it. There's not enough time. But I think this is enough for 10 points on the bench. And I don't want to sell Livermento because I like him in 38. I don't want to sell any of my Bournemouth assets because I want to keep them for 38. And Ponzo's the one I could potentially sell. If we get a leak that Rico Lewis starts, I would actually switch Konza to Rico Lewis. I know that sounds crazy. Nobody has mentioned him. Nobody has talked about him. But that is going to be my Game Week 36 punt if I can make the move. But I really want to see my transfers to actually downgrade Marmouche to get Saka back in my squad. So, yeah, ideally I just roll. But yeah, hoping for. Do you guys think I can get 10 points from this bench, or what do you guys think?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, listen, as long as your players start, that's a good bench boost, as we've discovered this season. As long as they're all starting, you would take 10 points. Realistically, it's a detrimental chip. I can't wait to use it in game week 1 next season, man. So honestly, I wish you the best.
Hey,
All
I'm
the
not
I was
best,
hate
secretly
mate.
watching
praying
all
on your
your bench
downfall.
boosts. I can't lie. I was the biggest hate
Actually, no,
watcher
do you know
on
what?
bench
I'm praying
boosts.
for your downfall in this bench boost. I can't lie. You prayed on my downfall for my bench boost, bro. It's only fair.
Yeah,
Oh, bench boost
and
52
yeah.
days. I
So
was praying on the downfall, bro. It was hilarious.
yeah, man. This how it is, boys. All right, cool. I think that's about it, man. So,
All right, see you last time.
all right, guys. You guys wanna go to the chat? Think there's any question?
Yeah,
Question, there's any question?
Cortex said W impersonation Stark. Well, what
That
this?
was
I've got the best chip strategy. I beat you on this. I beat you on that. Yeah, all right, Candy.
yeah, bro. Cat.
I
Fuck
get it, bro.
sakes, oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, this was a great pod, by the way. Can we just make sure we go through and answer people's questions?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what question there is.
Someone asked us between Areola and Raya, I think, starting this week.
Ooh. So Areola is West Ham are playing. West Ham playing.
They're playing Man United, right?
Okay, so a rotated Man United team after the Europa League semi-final. So it probably like rotated Man United, and then what's the other option?
What's the Man United score?
It's 1-0 Athletic Club, eh? Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. Come
me.
on, Athletic Club. Come on, mate. Come on. 2 more, please.
You
Please,
wish, you
please.
wish, you wish.
Please, I'm begging, I'm begging. I don't want to buy Benji a jersey, please.
Yo, but wait, going back to the question, Raya versus Areola, bro, just play the premium. Just play Raya, man. Honestly. Like Salah doesn't deliver at the end of the season sometimes. Go Raya, man. I wouldn't be happy, but I'd go Raya. Is there any other questions, Kayman?
No, that's fine. That's it. I think. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Bruno
Shout out
to
to.
K. Hang on, hang on. Cortex said Bruno to KDB or Morgan Gibbs White.
Bruno to KDB or?
Morgan Gibbs White.
KDB.
Oh, shoot.
If you get the leak, if he starts. KDB, if you get the leak, that he starts. Nico said, "Are you guys confident in Mateta's minutes?" I'm not confident in Mateta's minutes, but I think he starts versus Spurs, and I think if he starts, he's gonna get 70 minutes, 60 to 70 minutes, and I think that's enough for him to get a return. If I had Mateta, I would not sell him this week. Bench
Damn.
Watkins or Palmer? I'll probably bench Ooh, that's a tough one.
Bro, you know the answer, Kayman. Just say it with your chest.
I think I'll probably bench a Palmer.
Why, bro? Why would you bench Palmer, fam? Bro, I know
St
he doesn't
James's
show up
Park.
at big games, but
St
like,
James's
bro,
Park, bro. St James's Park, bro.
bro,
Go to
he
St James's Park.
literally turned up last game. Bro, he played so good against. Oh, man,
He played so well
come on,
against a team that was, hangover, that was, celebrating, coming off celebration. They didn't have barely have any sleep. He played against Endo. He played against Jones in 2025. Thoughts on Mateta and Rashford to Wissa and Mbimo? Rashford to Mbimo absolutely makes sense. Mateta to Wissa, I think it's a little bit sideways move. However, I do see the appeal there. If it's for free, maybe, but again, I don't like. I wouldn't sell Mateta, as I said.
Ooh, Bilbao penalty. Ooh,
Oh
it's
my
no,
god,
getting
man!
hey,
Oh my
yo,
god,
we
bro, we're
got it. Yo,
choking, bro. Hey, I'm
watch
about to end the
this
stream,
game.
man. I'm about to end the stream, bro.
Yeah, there's two more questions. Two more questions.
Go on.
Yo, play
I got you guys.
Livermento
I
or
got you guys. It's not a penalty. I'm joking. Don't worry. Don't worry.
oh, what the hell, bro? Play Livermento or Konza this week. What would you guys do?
Konza
Yeah, yeah, or QER. Yeah, I was still.
or QVR, yeah.
Yo, play Konza and play Raya, bro. I think, but because I know he had both dilemmas. Don't go double
I think
Arsenal.
you
That's
should.
retarded. I
I
mean,
think you
that's
should just
crazy.
buy
So
the best player in the league, Cole Palmer. He's back. They dominated
Okay, hold on.
Liverpool.
Start one
Danced.
between Munoz, Eight Nori, or Kirkers. I'd start Munoz ahead of Eight Nori and Kirkers.
yeah, yeah. Munoz versus Aiden Nuri. Yo, Aiden Nuri's data recently has been unreal. Like, should have scored versus City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough
Fight
one, bro.
Nori.
I would
Fight
go.
Nori
I
stays at
don't know,
Wolves next season. We will be there, man. Like, we will be there.
All
Like
right,
playing
bro.
boys.
that
I
position.
I see. Say
I
that.
gotta go watch the game, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, boys.
Yeah, we'll go watch
Yeah,
that.
Player
Promise.
Livramento or Aaron AWB. Who does AWB play? United.
Wan-Bissaka.
Well,
Yeah,
Wan
Man
Bissaka is his
United.
old club, right? So
Wan-Bissaka, definitely
he probably
Wan-Bissaka.
scores versus us because it's all club tax. You do on Henderson. Oh well, that's tough, mate. Keepers don't really matter. So play both. Hopefully Henderson gets some saves
No,
as well.
Henderson
So
is good, bro. He's playing
good, yeah.
Spurs. Don't worry, fam.
Exactly, yeah.
Yo,
I don't know
hold
about
on.
double
If you
difference
have
fellas.
Henderson,
Yeah, but who's keeping
yeah, if
clean
you have
sheet these
if you
days,
have
bro? No one
Henderson,
keeping clean sheet these days anyways. It doesn't matter, bro.
bro, like Cortex, play 8
Bro, who are you in
and go
confident getting
Henderson.
clean sheet this week other than freaking Forest? Come on, bro.
Man
No.
City, fam.
Man City, okay. Who are you gonna buy from Man City? Like fuck Guardiola. I think I'm sure he has Guardiola already. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, boys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to
Yeah, of
subscribe,
course.
and we're gonna see you guys next week. Peace.